Hi, this is Neil from Real World Magic, where we make your life more magical. I'm here at the Harry Potter Studio Tour in London. I'll show you around. Warning, this is a spoiler alert. Although I've tried to avoid spoilers as much as I possibly can, this is the Making of Harry Potter tour and it will include images and videos from inside. If you don't want to see it, that's fine. Please click subscribe right now so that you don't miss anything else in the future, and then just navigate away. But if you're still here, watch this. Now, before we get into the tour proper, we're actually in the atrium and we get faced with this massive dragon. Seen from multiple angles, you can see that this is a huge beast. We then go into the tour. I won't tell you all about it, but I will tell you that we start off in the Great Hall. If you're a very lucky boy or girl, and it's your birthday perhaps, you can even open the doors to Hogwarts main hall, which is pretty neat. You can see on the walls all of the different house motifs, and even some costumes from ghosts and things like that. It's really quite dramatic, and you'll also see on the floor there's York stone, which was put down to make sure that it didn't wear out, because lots of kids are obviously going to run up and down here over 10 years of filming, so it's pretty important that it's pretty resilient. Some things you don't see much of in the films is a giant fireplace and the house gemstones in all 4 hourglasses that appears at the back of the hall. Not sure that all of the videos and images in this video are going to be in order, so I apologise for that in advance. But we come to Diagon Alley, where all of the different shops have different things in the windows. Now you can actually walk up and down Diagon Alley and see all of the different shops, which is a really neat experience. And there are tour guides all the way through this tour, and they're very happy to talk to you about anything. In fact, one guy you couldn't get to shut up. This is Weasley's Wizard Wheezes, with a puking dude in the doorway. I was quite inspired by that, and the kids wondered how it was done, so I decided I'm going to make a video on how to do this. Now there's lots of different shops within Diagon Alley. Some of them you will have seen in the films, some of them are more sort of focused on the books, but obviously they provide quite a good background. And here on set, it really does feel like you've just stepped into a wizarding world. There's signposts, there's windows, there's lace curtains, and it's almost like you can actually walk in. All of the windows and all of the doors do say that the shops are open, but unfortunately you can't go in. That would have been really awesome, but I can understand why they're not doing that. The apothecary shop, with all the cauldrons stacked up outside like that, like they're almost held up by magic, that's probably my favourite shop of all. Don't ask me why, but it really evokes this sort of wizardy, witchy kind of feeling. But don't hang around for too long because there's wanted signs everywhere. Unfortunately they don't move. That would have been cool, but never mind. Now we come to the atrium of Gringotts, the Wizard Bank. Tain't no safer place, not one. Except perhaps Hogwarts. Like I said, the images and video here might not be in the right order, and I apologise for that, but the Wizarding Bank Gringotts appeared in the first Harry Potter film, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, and it also then featured heavily in the penultimate film too, Deathly Hallows Part 1. And so we have the shiny, lovely, pretty bank here, complete with goblins. Now these ones don't move, but they do look really creepy with their black eyes and stern faces. But we'll be back here in a bit. First of all, what we need to do is to not only have a look around, and it is pretty grand, it's huge actually this place, but we then go through the vault at the back. It's not actually shown on the video, and then we see all of the different vaults that Gringotts have to offer. Now the attention to detail here is staggering, so please take your time and don't even feel hustled by people wandering past you and pushing in and all of that sort of thing. Here's a minecart that Harry uses to get to his vault, and then we have the door to the vault that contains the Philosopher's Stone. Be very careful in Bellatrix Lestrange's vault. I almost got buried under an avalanche, and you can take photos, which is awesome. Now for brevity, I'm not going to do another spoiler alert, but this is possibly the best part. As you can see, this is the same atrium that we saw before, but having been to the vaults, you can now start seeing that actually it's pretty wrecked. So columns everywhere, rubble everywhere. Yes, there is a barrier, but the reason that there's a barrier is not only because of the rubble, it's also because of this chap. Here he comes, it's a dragon. I'm going to shut up and you can enjoy the whole experience. first time you see that, it will freak you out, and it will also probably make younger kids scream. So, I don't know, I enjoyed it possibly even more because of that. Here's the Dementors in the Hall of Models, and again, not really in the same order, ancestral models. Now, you've got lots of different models all over the place of different kinds of things, including the Norwegian Ridgeback Norberta. Having said all of that, the ones that I prefer were the ones that moved, like this Hog's Head from the Hog's Head, and the Mandrakes. They showed you not only how to make it and all the different paints, but they've also got the animatronics, which is awesome! Seeing this Monster Book of Monsters move as well really freaked me out. I thought it was really cool. Hedwig I wasn't terribly impressed with, but I thought I'd include it here in the video. And then you've got a piece of Lord Voldemort's soul. This is pretty disgusting, and obviously in the film it was all covered in blood and guts and gore and horrible stuff like that, and that was probably one of the most disturbing parts of Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2, in my opinion. Talking of disturbing stuff, how about a werewolf? For a kids' film, in Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, that was pretty scary. Talking of the Prisoner of Azkaban, here he is in doggy form. It's Snuffles! There's obviously other things around here like the Mimbulus Mimbletonia and the guts to the inside of the Monster Book of Monsters, how it actually kind of works. There's also the inside of Hagrid's head, if you're feeling a little bit adventurous. And even Bathilda Bagshot, which really worried my kids. And the inside of an animatronic werewolf, which in my opinion makes it look even more scary. You've also got more placid things like Fawkes, the Phoenix, and the very large and very dramatic wizard chess pieces, like these ones here. These are all located in the back lot, where you will also find Hogwarts Bridge, the car that Ron and Harry flew in Episode 2, the night bus of Episode 3, and honestly I really wanted to take a ride in the night bus when I first read about it. I absolutely loved it, and the fact it was purple was even cooler. They've obviously got some really massive things in the back lot, including the Potter's house with a massive hole in the roof, and pigeons trying to get in. The pigeons were real though. As I said, Hogwarts Bridge, you can even walk along there and take photographs. This is the entrance to the Potter's house, where they died on Halloween. This model Grindylow had an awful lot of attention from some American visitors. Now as you make your way through the railway tunnels in King's Cross Station towards the Hogwarts Express, you'll come across this billboard, which you would have seen in Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, I think. Then you get to platform 9 3/4, where you get the opportunity to take photographs pushing a trolley through a wall. My son loved that. Then the Hogwarts Express itself. The cool thing is you can actually board the Hogwarts Express and see where Ron and Harry would have sat, the sorts of sweets that they would have eaten off the trolley, and each compartment is themed for the film in which it was used. Here at the entrance of the Forbidden Forest we see Buckbeak the Hippogriff. I haven't actually filmed inside the Forbidden Forest because I know that there are some people who are afraid of spiders, and there's big spiders in there. There are many big statues including Tom Riddle's grave, the Ministry of Magic, and talking of Ministry of Magic, here is Dolores Umbridge's office. There's the Death Eater masks, of course, and then some cool little optical illusions like Force Perspective, where my daughter here is enormous compared to us. There's the entrance to the Chamber of Secrets with the Slytherin door. And this is how they did all the moving portraits with green screen. Bit of a spoiler there, I think. There's so much to see here, from broomstick displays to the inside of Hagrid's hut. Then you move on to the dungeons where Snape taught all of his potions lessons, and you see a self-stirring cauldron, and I was quite inspired by it, so I decided that I'm going to make one of these. If you want to see that video, please click subscribe so that you don't miss it, and it will be linked up here on the top right hand side of the screen once I've finished that video. Now as a guideline they say to allow about 3 hours for this tour, but I don't think that's enough, because you've got things like the Azkaban number, you've got Gryffindor Tower, Dumbledore's office with all the sleeping portraits. A lot of these don't move. In fact, I've not seen one that has. But hey ho. You've even got the Gryffindor common room. There's costumes all over the place with mannequins that do look a bit freaky with no face, I'll admit. This cauldron is definitely going to be inspiration for a future video, so if you don't want to miss that, make sure you click the subscribe button right now.
Is that real?
As we come towards the end of the tour, we're presented with a large amount of concept art and very rough models, as well as this beautiful model of the Durmstrang ship that was used in the fourth film, Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Towards the end of this display, we're presented with a statue of the embodiment of Hogwarts. This wizard never really existed, but represented the 4 house leaders. And then we come on to the pièce de résistance, Hogwarts Castle. Take your time here, it's pretty amazing. I'm sorry to break you out of your reverie, but now we must leave, and like any good tour, we exit through a gift shop. But before we get there, here are all the names of everyone who has joined in with making the franchise. That's pretty cool. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I appreciate every single view. Click the like button if you liked it, subscribe for more of the same, and click the bell button to be notified of future uploads. But unfortunately, this is it. So until next time, stay magical.